What is good, everybody? So it's a good day. We just got a new Jordan Klepper video out, the 2022 Best of Jordan Klepper. Let's take a look and let's have a laugh. Stoked. It's been a minute.
What about what happened on January 6th?
Oh yeah, these two.
I don't really know what happened on January 6th.
January 6th,
The election day?
No, election day was back in November.
So close.
I don't even know what.
Do you know about January 6th?
No.
So when I say January 6th, that means just...
Nothing. I don't know.
That's just a date to you.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the insurrection attempt at the Capitol?
Some tells me these girls do not know what insurrection means.
No.
For almost everyone here, insurrectioning was a non-issue. It was the hearings themselves that were the problem.
Nice
I
hat.
think it's an abomination.
It's just McCarthyism. It's a witch trial.
It's a witch hunt.
It is.
Yeah. It's
It
like
absolutely
a
is.
mob of people coming together with pitchforks.
Yeah.
Saying, and we can't have that.
Yeah, with an agenda. Here's the narrative we're pushing, and that's all we're pushing is our narrative.
A mob of people with an agenda, pushing an agenda. That can't stand in America.
No.
We should
Definitely
have an investigation about a mob of people. Everybody would watch that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nancy
Oh,
Pelosi,
she's my favorite.
she
This is my favorite from
was
this
very
video.
responsible for what went on then. She planned it.
She planned what happened.
I believe so,
Why did she plan to get attacked by a mob of Trump supporters?
because she wanted to be able to blame it on the Trump supporters and have something bad to say about them.
Shouldn't we investigate that?
Yes.
So you must be watching the January 6th committee.
No.
So what
That
was it people
reaction.
were watching?
2,000 Mules came out.
Oh,
It showed
yeah.
a lot of stuff.
You've got 2,000 mules.
And then this movie, 2000
This
Mules.
guy.
2,000 mules.
You notice you turn on Fox News, they have never mentioned that movie once.
No way.
Somebody's pulling the strings.
Who do you think it is?
It may be Obama,
Oh my
Obama's
god.
pulling
or
the
it could
strings?
be
Obama?
George Soros.
You
Oh my god. See, that's the flow sheet. If you don't know the flow sheet, it's Obama, George Soros. Like that, you just go down the list. We can hit something at some point, right?
think it's possible that Fox News doesn't mention 2,000 mules? Your theory, there's a giant conspiracy up on top in which they don't do it. Or the second theory is that movie's not credible.
I know the movie's credible.
Maybe sharing
He's an
some of the
expert.
committee's findings would break
Oh,
through
these
this
guys.
MAGA bubble.
Rudy Giuliani was drunk the night of the election, and it was partially his idea to deny the election results. Buy it?
Okay, first of all, you can't be wearing a shirt like this and have anybody take you seriously ever in your life. Like, come on, man, you're cosplaying.
Haven't seen that. You're the first source I've gotten on
You
that.
haven't heard that at all?
Oh, yeah.
That Rudy was drunk that night?
It's an election night. I wouldn't be surprised if anybody
He's like,
was,
I'd be
so
fucked up.
You trust a drunk Rudy Giuliani?
I'm not saying I trust a drunk Rudy Giuliani.
Question is, have you trusted yourself or other individuals that you were with
This guy.
under the influence of alcohol?
I totally have.
Then what's the difference?
I am not the commander-in-chief in charge of the United States of America.
Doesn't matter.
Well, I think that's an important detail.
If no one was willing to turn on the hearing,
Yeah.
I decided to bring the hearing to them. I first shared testimony from Trump's own acting attorney general,
That was amazing.
dismissing Trump's claims of voter fraud.
I told him that the stuff that his people were shoveling out to the public was bullshit.
He needs a moment.
Like I said, you just can't be up 300,000 votes and then lose.
No, but that's Trump's attorney general. Does that sway you at all?
Yeah, you can though.
He's been paid by somebody to shut his mouth.
Everybody knows the election was fraud.
That's the Ford Raptor
he's
guy.
saying the opposite. He's saying,
the opposite?
yeah, he's saying there wasn't fraud. That's
Wow.
Wow.
bullshit. Does it make you kind
Wow.
of change your perspective and your assumptions?
It does?
Yeah. So you're not going to go in there right now?
Oh, yes, sir, I am.
You
Yes,
are
he
going
is.
in there right now to see Donald Trump speak.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Well, good productive chat. What's your response there?
I think it's true.
You think Bill Barr is right?
Yeah.
Because he's talking about the fact that the election was stolen is bullshit.
Yeah, for sure.
So he says it
Zero comprehension.
wasn't stolen.
Oh. No.
Then no.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
it's stolen.
Oh wait.
You don't believe it?
No.
So
Good
who do you
God.
trust? Like Trump's family?
I trust
Right?
Trump.
You trust Ivanka?
Yeah, I do. I think she's very smart and very intelligent.
Let me show
Smart
you this is
and
what she
intelligent.
said.
How did that affect your perspective about the election when Attorney General Barr made that statement?
It affected my perspective. I respect Attorney General Barr. So I
This poor man.
accepted what he was saying.
I don't know, that's not edited in any way.
You don't believe she actually said that?
Did she say it on Twitter?
It almost don't even look like her.
What is up with people thinking that Twitter is where we should be getting our information from? This is insanity, people. These people shouldn't determine how you vote. They shouldn't determine that. You should determine how you vote.
You don't think that?
It could not be her. It might be one of those. What, they got clones out there these days?
You think that was a?
It might be a clone. Yeah.
It might be an Ivanka
clone.
clone.
Yeah.
Hot take, my friend.
Yeah,
Almost like you're
the
confronted
hottest.
with it, and your brain just does somersaults to figure out there must be some other reason.
She looks frightened.
She does look scared, almost like
Yeah, she does.
she's
She's
been
really
caught.
frightened.
What do you think?
I'm confused.
A little bit.
Something tells me these girls are confused a lot.
So Ivanka,
His
his
daughter.
daughter,
Mhm.
says she accepts what the Attorney General said, which is that the election wasn't stolen, that Trump lost.
Well, is it a lie?
I mean, if you listen to these people, yeah, it's a big lie. And I'm fearful you're going to go inside there and he's going to keep telling you that lie.
We should go.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Was there on January 6th.
Oh, yeah.
I remember this lady too.
You were there January 6th?
Yes.
What do you say to people who say he shouldn't have been there on January 6th?
It's ridiculous. It was the most beautiful thing I ever saw.
What?
Thousands, maybe 1 million people.
Thousands, maybe 1 million. That's Trump math. That's Trump math.
Gathered, so quiet. It was a peaceful rally.
January 6th.
January 6th.
Super peaceful.
January 6th.
January 6th. And when we walked up to the Capitol building,
Quiet.
yeah.
Birds chirping, police officers screaming.
No, no, I saw them sitting around waiting for the donuts.
Some of them were attacked.
Waiting for the donuts.
They were.
Did you not see the videos?
I couldn't watch it.
You could watch it. Why is that?
When we went home and we were watching on TV what happened,
Yes.
I said, turn that off. That is not what happened today.
You didn't see any violence.
No.
But to be clear, when it was on television, violent images, you turned it off.
I turned it off because it wasn't true. It was.
Out of sight, out of mind. This is a practice for these people. Out of sight, out of mind.
Was an accurate depiction of what was going on that day.
What was it? Was it like magical CGI George Lucas?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, could be. I don't know.
Did I just give you one? You're like, well, that's an easy out. I'll take it.
I'm not going to talk about it.
I had hoped this crowd
he did
would
that.
want to keep
Wisconsin.
discussing real issues. And
Wisconsin, the land of the flags and t-shirts. That's what I learned from this video.
not get distracted by conspiracies. But
look at them. There they
people
are.
had some thoughts.
I'm not going to be a conspiracist or anything like that, but I just watched a movie last week with Robin Williams in it. It was called
Man of the Year.
Man of the Year. And guess what? They had election fraud back then. The machines, they were switching to doing it electronically, and they were counting wrong.
Is this a documentary?
No, it's just
No.
a movie.
Are there any lessons we can take from Mork and Mindy?
I was going to say, I wonder what she learned from Mrs. Doubtfire.
No.
Who do you guys see as the current legitimate president?
I don't think we currently have one. If we do, maybe
Nope.
hopefully Trump's running behind the scenes, keeping the military on our side.
The recent
He's
attack
not,
that
though.
took out the leader of Al-Qaeda, who ordered that attack?
I don't know. I didn't read a whole lot of that. I try to stay out of the media as much as possible because it's all a bunch of theatrics anyways, so.
Yeah, and you're not somebody who gives in to theatrics.
Right.
Right.
Not at all.
Huge push for normalizing pedophilia.
How do they normalize it? Are they making pedophiles look cool?
Well, if you go online,
Dude, is that kind of like a little bit of a Handmaid's Tale thing going on right there? You just need a hood.
there's a whole list of pedophile symbols.
Really?
Yes, they're like circular symbols. There's a lot of triangles. There's colors. A lot of them are pizza related, like ping pong pizza, for example,
Ping
and
pong
PC.
That's a pedophile pizza.
Yes.
What
Or
if
ping
I
pong
order a
pizza.
pizza? What images should I be on the lookout
Triangle.
for? A triangle would mean
with a circle.
And this, folks, is why I only eat Little Caesars Detroit-style pizza, because it's a square. It's safe. Pedophile free.
Pedophile made that pizza.
Yep.
From Pizzagate
Only like
to
$10
Robin
too.
Williams Gate, this rally had everything because they're followers of this guy.
Well, nobody's gotten to the bottom of 9/11, unfortunately.
What don't we know about 9/11?
I think it was all planned. I think that it came down on their explosives.
Definitely planned.
It's an inside job.
Yes, I think so. But I think Bush knew it was happening.
Really? Is Biden just wasting time there?
Biden doesn't know what he's doing.
He recently just killed the head of Al-Qaeda.
I don't believe it.
Do you think that's just a made-up news story?
Just like Bin Laden with Obama.
Clarify who's still alive. Bin Laden?
JFK Jr. is JFK Jr. still alive.
JFK Jr. is still alive?
Yeah.
So,
I think JFK Jr. is going to try and expose globalists.
What is the infatuation with JFK Jr.? I don't understand. I don't understand
Because they killed his father.
I thought he was a magazine magnate who lived in New York.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Let's talk about John F. Kennedy
I don't
Jr.
even know what to say.
But to help me do that, I want to bring in our first guest, Will Summer.
Ah, sweet.
Will's a politics reporter for the Daily Beast. And he's got a book coming out in February called Trust the Plan, The Rise of QAnon and the Conspiracy that Unhinged America. I will say this, I go out on the road and I start hearing people talking about JFK Jr. And initially I'm thinking, oh, they're talking about JFK. There's a long history of conspiracies with JFK. And then I'm putting...
Wait, are they not talking about JFK? I am so lost. I thought forever that they were talking about JFK.
Together that it's JFK Jr. And then I start to see signs up. I start to see bumper stickers that have him as vice presidential candidate to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Can you set out a little bit of where this began? What do we need to know?
Sure. So, I mean, this is really bizarre, as you noted. I mean, the origins of this are within QAnon. Of course, there was this figure Q who was giving these anonymous clues. And then at one point in 2018, Q sort of vanished for a month on the forums where the clues came out. And then someone named R shows up and starts saying, you know...
Hold on. He's got to be making that shit up. Q went away and then R showed up. Is this Sesame Street?
All of this is really about JFK Jr. And so that's kind of where it begins. And eventually Q comes back and kind of says, like, this JFK Jr. stuff's garbage. You know, what have you been tricking all my people? But the JFK Jr. stuff really starts there with this idea that JFK Jr. faked his death to take on the deep state and help Donald Trump sort of bring about this sort of QAnon utopia.
There's a conspiracy inside the conspiracy. It's a conspiracy turducken right now.
Exactly. Yeah, it's sort of a splinter faction, and you get this situation where like the kind of the mainline QAnon people will often be like, "Oh my God, like, you know, I believe all this Pizzagate stuff. I believe this about Hillary Clinton, but these JFK Jr. people are embarrassing us. They just believe totally stupid stuff."
That's the dynamic you want there, where you're like, oh my God, can we just go back to serious things like talking about how the Democrats drink baby's blood and all this JFK Jr. stuff? We're losing credibility, people. We're losing credibility.
That's the truth, though. It's like when you have a conspiracy theorist and they're talking to you about all the crazy shit they believe, and, you know, this is happening, JFK Jr. is alive, and then you go, wait, do you think the earth is flat? And they're like, no, I don't think the earth is flat. That's stupid.
Your tinfoil hat's back on and let's march.
Yeah, I mean, basically they're saying, you know, these JFK Jr. people are almost like a government op meant to embarrass QAnon. But really this belief in JFK Jr. has persisted ever since.
So what was ours intention in this situation? Like, initially that JFK Jr. one is alive, so perhaps he faked his death, and two, he's aligning himself with Donald Trump. It feels like there's 4 steps there that I'm having a hard time connecting. Why JFK Jr.? And let's start with why he's alive and why that should matter.
Sure. So the arc that is presented by R, and I want to point out here that R is the letter after Q, and so that's sort of the explanation for this.
Is it? Or is it, Will? Your mainstream elitist alphabet says it's the letter after Q, but
the woke alphabet.
Only if you're moving forward through time, but that's a whole nother podcast.
Exactly. So the sort of the story that's laid out is that John F. Kennedy, the father, is killed by the deep state, you know, in 1963. JFK Jr. sees this and says, oh man, the deep state might come for me and I want to get revenge on them for murdering my father. And so for years he builds up this relationship with Donald Trump, you know, because they were both sort of these New York socialite figures. There are pictures of them together. And so this is used to suggest that they were like best buddies. Then in this storyline, JFK Jr. fakes his death in this plane crash to sort of go undercover and sort of lay the groundwork for the QAnon journey and eventually emerge. For a while, they thought he was going to replace Mike Pence in 2020 on the ticket, and that he would sort of kind of help Trump and sort of get this final revenge on the deep state.
So
tell me these aren't the best stories ever, though. I'm telling you, these people should just be fantasy writers. Like, you guys could make so much money selling novels. This is amazing stuff.
In this world, they see JFK Jr. as faking his own death to exist undercover and wait for the right time, still maintaining a relationship with Donald Trump throughout all of this? Or did Donald Trump just come about and become sort of an avatar for JFK Jr.'s ascension?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, a lot of it is a little contradictory and not super thought out. You know, that might surprise you.
No way.
But basically, the idea is that, you know, back in the 90s or the 80s, they kind of cut this deal and they said, Donald Trump said, man, this stuff is really messed up, you know. And JFK Jr. said, tell me about it. You know, they shot my dad. And so then they sort of teamed up and JFK Jr. went into hiding.
Tell me about it. They shot my dad. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. This is messed up.
Oh, I got to watch that one. That's going on the list.
There is a group above the president, and they're called the Council of Foreign Relations.
Who's on the council?
It is the secret council.
But who are they?
I know. They're like...
No, I don't, though.
I know.
But no, I don't.
Neither does anybody else.
Those Jewish bankers, they're trying to screw us.
We're swimming in an anti-Semitic land.
I was going to say... People just go all in on the Jewish people. They just they don't even care. Just straight in on them.
Right?
You're a slave, you're a slave, you're a slave, you're all a slave.
You see Republicans on one side and
the devil on the other.
No, he's
Are we
good.
talking metaphorical devil, like, oh, they do bad stuff?
No, literally, you know, vampires drinking blood.
I don't want to nitpick here, but vampires tend to be eternally youthful. And I look at Nancy Pelosi, and she's a lot of things, but I guess I don't think vampire.
Somebody in her party definitely drinks blood.
Oh, man.
In this world, the conspiracy theory is Hollywood, liberal elites, and Hillary Clinton are murdering children in ritual sacrifices, harvesting the chemical compound from human children, drinking their blood to ingest adrenochrome because it has some sort of elixir of life properties. Is that...
Tell me that's not a good story, though. I mean, dude, write a book.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, and you're telling me it may not be true. If we trace back this specific theory, even the origins of adrenochrome, does it go back before Hunter Thompson? Does it go back before it becomes sort of pulp in modern culture? Is there a history that dates back to even earlier?
It definitely does, and the way that it dates back is a little bit of sort of associative thinking. So conspiracy theories often work this way. They kind of jump onto things. They have a very lazy logic. They jump onto things that are already fully formed. One of the conspiracy theories that is attached to adrenochrome, or that adrenochrome is basically drawing on and modeling itself on, is blood libel, which is a conspiracy theory dating back to the Middle Ages that Jewish people drink or use the blood of Christian children for their religious rituals, specifically at Passover. And
for the record, we don't do that.
Yes. I mean...
Thank you, Matt. Thank you for context.
Thank you for
good to know.
Specifying
good
that.
to know.
It's designed specifically to incite violence. Like, that is what blood libel is for. So there's that kind of thematic connection. But then there's...
Yeah, like, can't you see conspiracy theorists? Can't you see that would be used to incite violence against Jewish people? Like, you're not mad at Jewish people, and then someone's like, yeah, but you hear they be drinking the blood of our children and shit. And you're like, what? I'll fuck them up. Where you at?
Also the fact that the main purveyors of adrenochrome, like Alex Jones, like Liz Crokin, say that it's blood libel, say that it actually dates back to that. And if you look at these adrenochrome memes, one sort of popular one that goes around has this very obviously medieval image of a baby being drained of blood.
Hold on. We need to look at this. That's crazy looking.
With people standing around it. And it says at the top, why does this image even exist? And the image is of Simon of Trent, which is the most famous and well-documented blood libel. And this particular blood libel started Passover 1475. A father had come to the bishop of Trent and said, "My 2-year-old son Simon is missing." And this bishop already had a story ready to go. He decided it must be the Jewish community, the very small Jewish community in Trent.
I mean, I'm just going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say the bishop did it. That's what I'm going with. It's been proven.
He had a couple reasons for wanting this story to be true. One, he felt like the Pope was too soft on the Jewish people and that he was too cozy with them. So this was his little power grab in opposition to the Pope. Mm-hmm. And then also, if you had a saint, if he could prove that Simon was martyred by the Jews, if you had a saint in your town, that was a huge money-making opportunity. Like, you could get people from all around to make pilgrimages to your little altar, and then you would make money basically off of like brand building. And so
it was like that.
It's a brand building opportunity.
Yeah, it was like that era's Cheesecake Factory. If you had a Cheesecake Factory in town, you know you're gonna get people from the suburbs who are gonna come in, they're gonna pay some money. It's gonna help the town. That's
the thing, and he wanted to kind of put Trent on the map. And so even before they start any kind of trial or anything, they round up the Jewish community, the entire Jewish community, and imprison them. And he hires a physician to write this very inflammatory autopsy that talks less about Simon's body and more about I think the phrase is dry-throated Jews howling for Christian blood, like this really over-the-top kind of autopsy. And then he takes this autopsy.
Wait, that was the doctor? That was the doctor. That's some really high-end literary anti-Semitism.
Yeah. And it gets more high-end because then he takes this and he sends it around to poets and to artists and is like, make stuff from this. And they do. Like, the poets start writing poems about Simon of Trent, and the woodcutters start making images. And that's the image that shows up in that adrenochrome meme, is this sort of propaganda campaign by this Italian bishop who decided he really wanted his own little ritual cult.
Those woodcutters. They just will take money, whoever puts it out. Where's the artistic integrity of 15th century
woodcutters? Man.
I hold them in such high regard. I love them. I think it's the best century for woodcutters. And yet, they are so willing to turn a blind eye to the social responsibility of being a woodcutter in that time. They're taking dirty money to put out anti-Semitic propaganda. Shame on them. I'm never buying 15th century woodcutter art again.
That's just crazy stuff, man. First of all, adrenochrome, the name alone is like manufactured to get your interest, right? Like adrenochrome. Like, I don't know, man. It's crazy. That is a crazy story, though. That's a crazy, crazy story.
I landed in beautiful Budapest, Hungary. It's been home to everyone from composer Franz Liszt to inventor Erno Rubik, creator of games for the world's loneliest children.
Hey.
It may be one country over from an active war zone, but Hungary is a world capital of art, music, and culture, and I was fitting right in. Right now, they're also embracing right-wing nationalism, which is why American conservatives are so enamored with Hungary. When I arrived, it was a national holiday, basically Hungary's version of July 4th, except with more fingers intact.
Today's their Revolution Day. It celebrates in 1848 when they pushed back against the Habsburgs, and I should have bought a guidebook instead of trying to watch Tenet on the plane. What happens in Tenet again?
There was an election underway, so even though this was a national holiday, Prime Minister Viktor Orban was using the event as a political rally. In the 12 years since he took power, Viktor Orban has reshaped the country's judiciary, built a fence along the southern border to keep out refugees, turned Hungarian billionaire George Soros into a boogeyman, and was even sanctioned by the EU for his treatment of the LGBTQ community. It's no wonder Steve Bannon called Viktor Orban Trump before Trump. And as my therapist will tell you, I've been to a ton of Trump rallies. So I brought along a trusty translator to see just how similar an Orban rally is to a MAGA rally. First stop, the merch table.
Do you have any Orban pictures, specifically with him shirtless, riding a velocipede?
Yeah, nope. They ain't got shit on Trump, man. You guys got to work on your merchandise. You need to get together. You need to talk to the Trump merchandise people, and you need to step up your game. That's some rookie shit. Rookie shit.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
A T-Rex, just the flags. That's basically a Hungarian reference.
Does that have any profanity on it whatsoever?
No, it's just
Just a straight flag?
a straightforward flag.
Rookie shit.
Good luck with the
Doesn't
sales
want
today. You don't need to say that one.
Merch, check.
Lock her up.
Lock her up.
I thought I heard lock her up.
Okay, maybe some things are a little lost in translation, but still, chants, check.
Are there going to be any Let's Go Brandon chants here? Do you know Let's Go Brandon? I see signs. Do you know Let's Go Brandon? Okay, so it's people were chanting. It was at a NASCAR. Do you know NASCAR?
NASCAR.
It's like Formula One, but it's in a circle. It's more boring.
They might shout different slogans.
It's a way to disparage the President of the United States.
But some similarities with Trump fans are universal, like blind devotion.
What do you think of Viktor Orbán?
Orbán Viktor legkiválóbb.
The most exquisite of all of us. You sound like a Trump supporter.
They also had shadowy villains they could blame for everything.
Elhatározás van valahol.
There is somebody who's behind the scenes. I don't want to name names. He's in the U.S. Somebody who's pulling the strings.
Obama.
Any chance that person who's pulling the strings name rhymes with George Boros?
Oh, he's down on the
And
list.
Unsurprisingly,
They go
Orbán
straight to
and
George
Trump
Soros.
supporters were in lockstep in one area.
So in Hungary, it's George Soros, then Obama. Got it.
Hogy az Orbán Viktor a hagyományos családot képviseli, mert véleményem alapvetően az, hogy mindenki úgy éli meg a szexuális orientációját, ahogyan akarja. Az viszont megint más, amikor más emberekre szeretnék ráerőszakolni.
LGBTQ people are support that or not support, but
What's the opposite of support? They're
not the opposite.
somewhere.
It's a personal issue. You don't have to bring intimacy to politics.
It's a personal issue that should be agreed upon by the majority as to what those personal folks with their issues should be able to do.
Yes, and I think if they don't like it here, they can travel to the other country where they can marry each other and adopt children and so on and so on.
If you want equality, hit the road, Jack.
I think yes.
And if Hungarians do want legal protections for the LGBTQ, they need to GTFO. Because during Viktor Orbán's time in office, he's barred gay families from adopting, passed a law prohibiting their depiction in children's books and TV, and even outlawed same-sex marriage in Hungary's constitution. So basically, they're fine with you being gay as long as you live your life as a straight person. Somewhere between the castles and bigotry, I was starting to think Budapest might be the Orlando of Europe. And nowhere is that more apparent than in their hatred of one old man.
Biden alkalmazása lehet ebből a szempontból probléma, hogy egy szenilis megválasszanak, de igazából az a kérdésem, ki az melyik ország az, aki egy 86 éves aggastyánt megválaszt?
I don't know. I kind of hear what he's saying.
It amazes me. We immediately get to Sleepy Joe here in Budapest. I gotta say, I think when this thing airs in America, be ready, you're gonna get calls and be speaking at the next CPAC.
Oh, man. That was the best of Jordan Klepper in 2022. And that was amazing. That the guy at the end there, I'm not going to lie, I got to agree a little bit. Jordan Klepper is a saint, and he deserves all the good things in life. He's brought joy and entertainment to me during a time that possibly could have been a lot more depressing. So, all right, guys. Well, that was wonderful, hilarious, amazing. 10 out of 10. Keep it going, Jordan Klepper. Like and subscribe. Comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think Joe Biden's perfectly fine to be the president at 86 years old. Anyways. All right, guys. Have a good one.